Less. Hello and welcome to the fifth From Insight to Impact consulting webinar of Study in Greece. The landscape of international education is demanding, challenging, and ever evolving. Therefore, universities interested in internationalization have to make informed decisions aligned with the global trends. Study in Greece Consulting webinar series is included in the broader intelligence and consulting ecosystem of the organization, hosting international education experts from around the world with the aim to provide Greek universities with up-to-date insights and strategic consultation to enable them make informed decisions with regards to the internationalization of their campus and curricula. Today, we're glad and honored to have two great professionals, partners, and friends from NET24, Mikhail Herzik, Chief Operations Officer at NET24, and Anna Horoshko, Business Operation Coordinator of the organization. Aimed at strengthening the educational market with a focus on enhancing the enrollment of international students, NET24 has developed a broad network of recruitment agents from around the globe and provides universities from around the globe a useful platform to build connections and get the latest tips and trends to craft a comprehensive, focused, and results-oriented recruitment strategy. Our two speakers will be focusing on international recruitment and promotion, marketing, and other practical issues and requirements related to enrollment of international students like visa and language proficiency. It's worth noting that today's event will work as a prelude to the international conference co-organized by NET24 and Study in Greece in Athens next week, April 3rd, at the Intercontinental Hotel in Athens. Before giving the floor to our speakers and partners, I would like to inform you that the event is being recorded and will be available online on our intelligence page on our website. And of course, you can put your questions in the chat in order to start a productive conversation and open discussion after the two presentations. I would like to express my gratitude to both Anna and Mikhail and give the floor to Mikhail to start his presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Theo. Welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Our great partners from Study in Greece introduced us, my name is Michael. In Greek is Michailis, I think, and I would love to conduct today's webinar. With me is, of course, my dear colleague, Ms. Anna Horoshko, who will be supporting us and answering any questions you might have. Anna, could you say hi?
Hi everyone, one more time. My name is Anna. I am Business Operation Coordinator at NET24. It's really a pleasure for us to be part of this webinar and for this great project which Study in Greece leads. So I truly believe that this webinar will be productive and valuable for all of us.
Yes, thank you very much. I just started sharing the screen, and we'll start slowly talking about what are the most effective strategies in current recruitment, in current education. We'll also be touching down on some trends and statistics, showing the situation from the 20s till this day in terms of the numbers, of course, of students in different countries. So today's meeting is like Theo said, also a prelude to the event that we'll be organizing, who is also the main aim of all of our activities, is to help our partners adjust their strategies to find new partners in the recruitment and, of course, grow their international admission and status and promotion of the university. It's a pleasure to meet you all today. In terms of the agenda, after the introduction, we'll touch down on some statistics to compare the situation from the past and right now, exchange some experiences and facts related to that. Afterwards, we'll talk a little bit about recruitment agencies, partners for education, and this model is something that is working really great. Most of the top and the biggest universities are working via vast network. So this is also important to understand. Afterwards, we'll also talk about some practical agreements that are needed to work properly with those partners, how to start the process, what are usually the steps to do it. And afterwards, we'll touch down on what our company does in detail to help you meet new partners, adjust your strategy, improve your marketing, and grow your admission. Afterwards, there will also be a Q&A session. So if anyone has any question, please write them down on the chat. We'll try to answer them as we speak. And at the end, we can do also a longer Q&A session. So let's slowly start. Of course, the webinar is recorded, like Mr. Tio said. And in terms of us, we are a company that has been founded 9 years ago in Warsaw, in Poland. Our main goal is to connect international education institutions like universities, high schools, colleges, language schools, and also other organizations like Studying, for example, our dear partners that are helping us spread the information about latest strategies and solutions in the education sector. Our main goal is to help, like I said, grow your recruitment and diversity of the students. So our goal here is to increase your diversity and internationalization of the university. And we are very proud of our experience and this work that we have been doing for over 9 years, showing the ability to host over 50 events and 70 important webinars for our partners. Our services are mainly focusing on the face-to-face approach with the business partners and with recruitment of students directly from different countries. We also, of course, support you in different ways online via webinars, marketing, and also our platform, but more on that will be later. Right now, let's get to some numbers, because this is the most important thing when we are considering what is going on and how to approach this situation that we are having right now. I personally think that looking at the statistics, as you can see, the numbers are growing pretty much each year, even in the pandemic occurs. Right now, when you compare the data from past almost 20 years, you can see that there is a huge growth in terms of international students applying to different countries in Europe. We are the leading market in terms of where the students choose to go and study. Looking at some more numbers, most of the students that come to European countries to get their education on very high quality, they are looking towards bachelor and master's program. Some of them in smaller percentages are looking for the programs on the PhD level, the doctoral level, and some of them are also coming for secondary education. So pretty much all of the offer that the country has, any country, can be highly increased by those students as they are looking and they have a real need of proper educations. As you can see on the data in terms of Greece, most of the students are coming for you for the bachelor level and of course the master. So this is pretty standard trend in the whole EU. And of course later on you will get access to the presentation and you can take a look at the data yourself and compare them. Sorry, I went a little bit too far. Next one. Next one would be the same comparison between the bachelor, doctorate, masters, and short tertiary education. So as we can see, the trend is also here looking differently in different countries, of course, because this all depends on the offer of each country and their strength. But some of the countries are showing a higher number of doctoral students. Some of them are showing higher number of masters and bachelors, which should be a standard trend. This is a growing number. Like I said, the data for 2020 shows that it will be growing also in the future years. So how we can take advantage of this information, and what can we do? Because as you can see, this situation has changed pretty much exponentially, I would say, in last 20 years. Even when you compare 2012 situation in terms of international students in 2020, it's spreading like crazy, I would say. And this is a very good situation for all of the partners in Europe that want to grow their international admissions, to grow their diversity on the university and get high quality students that are able to study and achieve something great later on. So this is the goal of today's presentation, to show you that we are standing in front of really, I would say, a great opportunity to start working and increase those numbers. Each year, every country has seen an increase, even though there are some regulation problems in terms of the visa, or there's a crisis like pandemic. The numbers are still going up, and people are still having very strong need of this higher education and moving abroad, trying different things in life. And I think this is great that by working in the education sector, we can help so many students achieve their dreams and live in the countries that they want to live and try out something new. In terms of in terms of other statistics, this is also pretty important to take a look at the numbers per country, because in 2013, UK is leading here with over 140,000. In terms of Poland, we are also on the table looking at the numbers, but let's compare the numbers in 2022. So of over 8 years, we see increase of from 140,000 in UK to over 600,000 in different countries. Also per country is increasing highly. So this is this strong trend that is showing not only 1 year period, this is showing over 20 years of growth. In terms of the visa situation also in Greece, because this is crucial on the success of any university, is to know the visa chances from different countries. In terms, even from the pandemic, where there was a huge drop in visa applications, the trend from 2020 to 2013 and further is growing. We are receiving even more applications, even more of those applications are being approved. So even if sometimes we have a situation that we can feel that really some students are not able to get a visa, the statistics are showing otherwise, that this is a very positive trend. Just many people are applying to the different partners, different universities, and as many of them apply, not everybody is able to fulfill all the requirements. So we can feel like that there are visa refusals from a certain country, but in the end, the statistics are showing that this number is growing and getting back up. So this is a very good trend in terms of Greece. Then, as we go forward, this is general situation from which countries are applying. So Turkey is booming with over 250,000 applications. Then we can also look at other countries like China, India, United Kingdom, or the MENA region, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. These are all great regions and huge demand there for education in Greece. So moving forward, this is data which is actually looking showing this interest that we are seeing, because in year 2000 we had only 2 million of total applications in total of students. This data from 2022 shows that we had almost 2 million applications, 1,066,000 exactly in 1 year, and this is just 1 year of students enrolled. So looking at the data from 2000s, we can see that the whole total number is achievable almost in 1 year. So this is something that is looking strongly. What are the destinations and the ratio for the students? You can see mainly it's Europe. Of course, there are some other regions that are very attractive for the students, USA, Australia, for example. But each of the countries in Europe and each of the regions outside of Europe has their own difficulties and has their own regulations and changes that are going on. So the market is always shifting. But what is important to remember here by looking at the numbers is that Europe and we are the main choice of international students. And this has stay like that because of many different regions, culture, diversity that we have, and many people are drawn towards Europe for different reasons. So this number is important. However, this is also a note to remember that the market is shifting. Sometimes there are changes in the government, in the policy, like we had in Poland, like USA is having right now, and some markets are closing for certain students. But looking at the situation right now in Europe and in Greece, I think the 2025 and 2026 will be a great increase in overall applications and student numbers of those international students. Right now, there are some numbers from UK. This is also the same situation. The numbers are just growing. It doesn't matter if this is bachelor level or master level education. In general, all the education levels and the applications are rising everywhere. In UK especially, 5% of the GDP is language schools and language schools only. So this is a huge amount of capital that is being provided via those language schools and higher education as well. So or everybody can grow in this market, and as more students come, the more budget come for the universities that can grow further, open more programs, open portfolio, and increase their status in the international world. And how to do it in practice? There are many different ways to attract students, but one way that we know the best and that is providing results almost every time is working via business partners, via recruitment agencies. And there are different options of working with them, of course. But let's take a look what routes can students take to apply to the university. Of course, some students are applying on their own. They can study the plan, they can gather all the documents, they can prepare the documents for the visa if needed. They are able to do almost everything on their own. If they need any assistance, they call the university or email and ask them for help. This is the main source of students. I would want to say that, but in practice, some students are needing extra help. They are not on point with the documents for the admission, but for the visa process, it can be complicated and different per country. And so that's why the companies, education consultants and recruitment agents started to show up in larger numbers also, because when there's a huge amount of students applying each year and this number is growing, these companies rose up and helped students with different form of applying in the end and getting to their target, to their dream, to the university that they want to study in a different country. So these education consultants, recruitment agencies, they are either helping the candidate to gather all the documents correctly, to prepare everything, and then take the application and send it to the university with a whole file of correct documents needed for the admission. And university can cooperate also with the agencies on different levels. I will touch on this a little bit later. But the third way of working is master agent. So agency that is large and is working with other educational consultant or recruitment agencies under him can also get the application from a sub-agent and then forward it to the university. So this is also another way which agency model is working. But in general, what is the advantage here for both sides? Actually, for three sides: for student, for university, and for the recruitment agency. So university is being promoted by the partners in the country of origin of the educational consultant. Educational consultant is getting official approvals from the university that they are partners and that he can help the students that want to apply to this university. And the student is getting all the help that is needed to fill up this process, which can be different per university, which can be different per country. So here all three sides have a win-win situation and can gain via working with this model. Going further, as we can take a look at what does exactly an agent do. So this also depends on the partner and what is included in his offer, but usually all agents help with the different documents for the approval, with the visa application, with finding accommodation if needed, if the dormitories are full, for example, with airport pickups, with some documents that are needed also afterwards when you come to the country. For example, in Poland, there is a document called TRC card, temporary residence card, which is needed after you come and your student visa is expiring. So this process is also complicated for some of the students in Poland, and the recruitment agencies can help with that process in detail. They take care of their clients and guide them through the whole process until it's finished. And afterwards, of course, they also support in different problems like language, how to set up a bank account or how to get a SIM card, for example, the simple things that for inhabitants of the country are just natural. They do it without even thinking. For some students, it can be a large amount of trouble. So this is what agent does for the student. And then the university has also less amount of work in terms of the student, because student is prepared. He knows the correct information. He knows how he can move in the city, for example. He has everything organized. So there's less questions, less emails, less phone calls, and therefore less work for the universities. So this is also the great way that everybody can gain something out of that. And right now, in terms of recruitment agencies, how exactly can you work with them and what's the process? So I prefer and I recommend everybody to work through the agreements. There are different type of agreements. Some of them are non-profit agreements where the agency depends, for example, on a fee from the student. It's a small fee depending on the country. The agents can require that fee from the student for all his support with the whole service. Then university doesn't do any payment, isn't required to, because the contract is a non-profit one. This contract is enabling agent to be your official partner in the country of his origin and do the marketing for you there, to talk with the candidates for you on the spot, and spread your marketing materials like presentations, brochures, and stuff like that in the country. For that work, agent from the university receives, of course, those marketing materials that are needed, some assistance in terms of difficult applications. Sometimes a student might come with a different diploma or older diploma. Then he can also ask admission representatives from the university if that documents would work, if they're acceptable in Greece, for example. So for that case, an agency on non-profit agreements can also get extra benefits by working like that. Sometimes this form of working is even preferred, and this depends also per country. Some countries and the state universities just cannot pay commission because of either difficult process of obtaining a correct document with agreement for with commission, or there is just no budget for this being placed at the start of the year, for example. So there are many different ways, and agents are able to work on those non-profit agreements. So this is a first type. Second type would be the agreement with commission. And here for whole support and service, agencies shouldn't charge the candidate, but instead, after candidate applies to the university, sends all documents that are correct and effectively passes the admission, gets his place at the university and pays the tuition fee, the agency would require a commission from the university if they have an agreement with commission. What is the numbers of commission, the percentages? This really depends on the university and the agency, because you're a business partners, you set up your own rules. Usually the commission is paid only for the first year. And the numbers can be different depending on the tuition fee amount in total, the programs, and the communication with the agencies. So here for the public state universities, there are different ways to organize such an agreement, because it's really showing that we respect the other side that is doing so much work for us and promoting us, even for free sometimes. And if the results from that cooperation are satisfying for you, then you can approach the agency and start working on the commission basis, which is providing much higher results of effective recruitment of international students than an agreement with a non-profit. So these are two different ways. There is something also called an exclusive agreement, basically an agreement with exclusivity for a certain country. So this is also a solution that is working in the market. Basically, the bigger agents require sometimes exclusivity over one market, so that no other partners can work with you from that country, and they are your main source of presence in that country and the main source also of the students. So this is also something that is working. I recommend to be cautious when somebody proposes this sort of cooperation. However, I know the partners that are working on this sort of contract and are having great results. So in short, this is something that from the legal point of view, we recommend to do, work always on the legal agreements and inform the agencies what should be on the contract, what are we looking for. We are looking for the subject of the contract, of course. So what kind of countries is an agency taking care of? Sometimes an agent takes care of only one country. Sometimes they recruit for multiple. So in agreement, this should be stated. Afterwards, if this is an agreement with commission or an exclusive agreement, it's good also to set up an expected number of candidates. Sometimes contracts are for 2 or 3 years, and in that contract, so you can set up like 10, 20, 30 students from this partner and later work on that. Then admission of the candidate's personal data. This is a very important point in the European Union. What is the refund policy? If some of the students resigns, should the agent return the commission, for example? Or what's the how would student, if there's a visa refusal, for example, would the student get application fee return, or if he paid tuition fees, would that be returned also? So this is all important stuff that should be included in the contract. Intake changes and deadlines also should be informed directly to the partner, so he is informed where he has the time to do the marketing for you, bring new students for you, and what are the deadlines for the documents. So this is also very important, and any changes here should be communicated to these partners. and guarantee of quality assurance. This is something that we also recommend to include in the contact. The more guarantees there are from somebody on the paper, the higher likelihood is they will provide them in the future. Then what should from the agency side, what they are looking towards when they are choosing their partners, because not this is same like in business. Not every business partner will find clients for everybody. The agencies work the same. They know their market and they know the interest there, whether this is interest in the country or this is interest in some specific programs that country has in offer, or maybe this is a tuition fee interest. The candidates are not being able to pay high amounts, so they are taking all of that into consideration and they are choosing their partners accordingly in order to provide them with an effective result, being student coming with the documents and paying tuition fee and studying. What are agents looking when they are checking if this partner would be right for you? What university could be a great partner for me or no? First of all, they are looking accreditations and reputations. They are looking for rankings. What types of diplomas are given by the university? Standard national ones or dual degree diplomas? Are there any possibilities for students to come study for some period of time at the university and later maybe transition to other university? This is like 2+2, for example. So different things are taken into the consideration. Of course, program requirements. The higher the requirements, the higher the tuition fee, the more professional and specific should be the partner for the recruitment here, because he will be looking towards special students. Then, of course, accommodation, scholarships, and additional benefits are also important. For some of the countries, more than in European candidates, for example, usually aren't looking towards the scholarship. However, our candidates from poorer countries like Africa, whole continent, or India, for example, they might be in a need of financial help. And this is also important to inform if there's anything that the university can do to support them. And agents then also have a stronger point when talking with the parents and candidates about this. Then, of course, cost of living. This is the same problem regarding some regions. And the cost of living in terms of degrees, I think it's very doable. It's very great comparing to the other competitors in Europe. I think you are doing very great and the students can afford living there. In terms of legalization, this is also important, and the community. Are there many events taking place, like student events, for example? What is the network of the university? Does university have many partners? This is all the things that a agent are taking into consideration before signing the agreement or even talking with the university about potential cooperation. So with that in mind, we can go towards why even our company exists and what is the purpose of organizing events, of working via network. And today I want to invite you to take a look and try us out because we are doing this for many, many years. We know the detail from scratch. We are helping some partners from the side of legal point of view in terms of drafts of agreements till the end of sign agreement and getting the first students from this way of working. We know that some of the partners may be unsure or just didn't have any experience in working via recruitment agencies, or we know that sometimes there is a negative experience with the recruitment agencies, and this is also something that I would like to adjust today and speak about, because when you look at what we are doing outside of the local events that we do, because we strongly believe that being face-to-face and building a relationship, whether this is another university and we are talking about Erasmus programs or academic staff exchange or academic research together, or this is a recruitment company, it's important to have a really good relationship, as this is a key factor in the success of any institution working via network. especially here in the education sector, where the competition is really huge. In terms of even home country, I'm not talking about other countries in Europe, but we are in a need from the universities side at the start to show up, to promote as much as possible, and to allow people in different countries of the world to spread the word of mouth about you, because this is the best marketing in the world. Parents, candidates talking with each other and spreading the positive information that somebody is studying in Greece at some university, and then later on other people from that country can get to know you. So this is something that is really great in terms of relationship in the business way. How does it work in practice? The more we like somebody, whether this is a business partner or student or a loved one, it's easier for us to do things together. In the business, this is crucial. We need to like each other, we need to know each other's boundaries, and we need to know how we can work together. Sometimes this process could be overwhelming and difficult. That's why we step in as a company and we show everything from the scratch. In terms of the conference and networking, in terms of our event in Athens, Greece, the main point of inviting partners there and cooperation with Study in Greece is to provide you with this incredible opportunity to meet different regions and different partners from different countries in Greece on your homeland, and try us out, try this way of working via network, and then later just reap the results from this cooperation. In terms of how do we do this in practice, we organize many different events in different countries. We invite whole regions of recruitment agencies there, so it's every different country on the spot, and we help our partners from the very start till the end of this process. So this includes helping with the signing the agreements or getting your first draft of an agreement done and accepted by the legal team. Then how to work on the commission level, what is the good commission structure for the agency that is showing a proper results. Of course, then you boost your budget, and then you can focus on diversity. Increasing student numbers is something that comes later on as a bonus, and the main point of the biggest universities and our biggest partners is to the diversification of their programs, of their groups, and they require more specific countries, more specific candidates, because they already have a huge interest from certain regions. So that's why we, even at this level, we can step in and still help with special countries, special requests, special partners. Then in terms of how do we work? Also, it's important to note and meet our regions of recruitment agencies. This all depends on the goals of each of our partners, because each university could have different structure, different programs, different goals. And then we also step up into that and take a look individually with each partner, what would work for them the greatest, the best. And so here I also want to touch down on how we can validate and trust partners whom we know via our network. The verification process of our agencies is very strict. We require at least 4 references from universities, and we also confirm if those references on paper are true. We not only check the quality of a recruitment agent in terms of their communication, the student numbers, but what is sometimes even more important for certain countries, we also check the quality of the student. And this is something that we take great value in, as this allows us to know exactly what we can expect of each partner. We can then directly connect you with some partners that we can recommend, because the agents that are in our network, some of them are working with us from the start and are supporting us also for many years. So these agencies are very trustful. Of course, sometimes there can be situation that agent doesn't have a lot of clients for some of the partners, and this is normal. And then we can also adjust our solutions and connect you with other recruitment agencies who can work with according to your countries and your programs and your needs. So this network, in terms of the regions, all the way from Latin America all the way to all the Asia, we cover everything that is related in Europe recruitment of international students outside of US and Canada. Those regions are mainly coming on the student credit, and they're coming from medical programs, for example, to Poland. So in that region, it's hard to recruit from. Usually they are a target to recruit to and to go for an education. So going forward, we organize, like I said, face-to-face events, and not only we are enabling you to meet recruitment partners from different regions at once in one day. On the other days, we also organize school visitings and B2C fairs, in which are a great solution to go directly to different local or international high schools, set up a booth, promote, talk with the classes that are graduating this year, and try to promote the university's name in different countries, talk directly with local students, find out their situation and the regions where they are applying, what they are thinking about. So this is all crucial information outside of the recruitment that is possible with us. We also organize B2C fairs like the ones in Thailand, where we invite parents and candidates directly, and we organize a student fair, which is also another great way of knowing the market, meeting the students directly, and taking care of their needs, of their goals, and promoting your institution further. So we also can work outside of the B2B model, which is an agency model. We also help you recruit directly and set up a presence in each country. In terms of our Greece event in Athens, which is really great, 3rd to 4th of April, and there will be around 20 partners there. There will be recruitment agencies, and we will be doing school visiting. However, from the latest information, I know that the Greek students that hold Greek diploma after high school, they cannot apply to the bachelor level of studies yet. They can apply for masters in English. They cannot apply for the bachelor. So mainly I would invite you all to try us out, check us out during the 3rd of April on our B2B workshop, which can show you from the kitchen side exactly how are the business meetings taking place, how we help our partners start this process, and how we work in general. In terms of our biggest event, this is Warsaw Global Conference. We do it each year in October. This is event structured and focused only on the B2B part. It's 2 days of non-stop talking with different partners. Some numbers from last year, 57 different countries in terms of student recruitment, so great diversity. In terms of universities, our events are still focused on an effect and are individual. We don't focus on growing large numbers, so around 40 to 50 partners on our biggest conference still allows you to talk with over 100 agencies during the 2 days, and you have time to meet everybody. We are also doing other activities during this event, but this event is the biggest, and you can meet all of the regions in terms of the diversity there. So I highly encourage you to also check us out. On YouTube, you can find at NET24, you can find many videos and interviews from our partners, and also from the conferences. So you can check out how it looks in practice. And looking at other solutions, by joining our events, you also have a great access to our NET24 Apply platform. This platform allows you to work whole year from your office on any kind of region of recruitment agencies that you are looking for students from. You are able to filter our partners that are verified by different countries. You can check out how many of them recruit to Greece on a university level, and pick the right partners from the countries where, for example, there's a higher visa chance. We help you to approach also different partners here if there's some issue of communication addition, we also help our partners to evaluate the results from the events or from using other services that we do, like platform and webinar, which I will talk a little bit later on. So we also support you in this process. We can take action. We can find out what the situation, and if the situation is looking, like I said previously, that, for example, one partner doesn't have a lot of interest in terms of students' interest to apply, then we can simply try to find you another one who has an interest in his country for Greece studies, for example. So this platform is really great. You can use it whole year from your office, any kind of region of agencies. This is rapidly growing. Any university that will be in Athens will also receive full access to that platform for free for 1 year. This is a promotion that we have this year, and I will also have some announcement during the conference, because not only we are having right now the agency here, but we also will be having an individual student in that platform applying. So outside of agency model, even online, you can still get students with us and recruit directly. Lastly is marketing that we do for our partners. This is also a great tool that can be used any time of the year, any regions of recruitment that are needed, and completely online. So the goal of this webinar and how do we do it is that we promote each partner that is interested in that activity on our social media, on all of our social media. And then if there are any programs that are that partner wants to promote specific programs or general, or there are any activities or discounts available, we can make special posts on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on other social media that we can use to promote these programs. And also we invite the recruitment agencies from your regions of interest. Of course, everybody can join the webinar, even if we always encourage to still join the webinar, even if you're outside of the main region, because it's crucial in this sector, in this business, to have the doors open everywhere because of the visa changes. Sometimes we have the change, there is no students coming because of the visa, and we need to adjust. If we have partners in different countries, this process is pleasant, because where others are panicking and they don't know what to do, their numbers are going down because they only had the main population of students from one country, and that country got difficulties right now in the visa. They are panicking and they are searching for solutions rapidly, where you will be already prepared for that, because you already know people on the spot who can take care of that. So here, this is a great solution. Usually the numbers vary from 20 all the way to 60 agencies at once, because this is webinar for recruitment agencies. And the biggest score that we have this year was 67 recruitment agencies for university in Poland. So this is a great result. You can talk to this many agents at once on the webinar, promote all your programs, promote your institution, and later on use the recording from YouTube. If any other partner approaches you, you can send him this video, because all the information about admission and the way that you cooperate is included. So before the meeting, for example, new partner can check out that video, get all the proper information, and then you can avoid wasting time on the actual meeting with the agency. So this is something that I want to end with, and thank you all for hearing me out. Right now, I think we can start Q&A session slowly. I checked the chat, but I see that there are no questions yet, but that's no problem. Maybe they will be. In terms of the Q&A session, I think we can slowly start. Does anybody have question? You can ask them in the chat, or you can speak up via microphone. Please let me know if you need any information about the way. Okay, Miss Ellie. Hello, thank you for your presentation. I'm facing problem with my microphone. Okay, no worries. Do you have stats for international students later than 2025? Here, I don't think we managed to find the data from this year or last year. Sometimes it's very tough to find the data from country. Usually the local statistic government institutions are taking care of that, so I don't think we have the data from or after 2022? And how do you manage a candidate who applies to similar programs at two universities that are both your clients? Oh, this is great question. This is very great question. Thank you for that, Ms. Ellie. So this is a pretty standard situation. That sometimes, for example, there is one company who wants to work with both universities, or universities not even within the same country, but similar universities in terms of programs, pricing, and other stuff. What do we do then? Basically, then it's a competition, because we as a NET24, we don't recruit directly to any of our partners. We don't work on the commission basis, and we have no interest in promoting one of our partner more than another. In our structure, everybody is equal, and we try to hold to that standard. But in terms of agency, this works differently. The main point that the agent could, of course, look towards, where there are two universities, they have the same programs, similar tuition fees, or let's say even same country, then what can we do? Of course, then it's an individual thing between the university and the agency. This depends on the relation, on the location of the university, on the programs, on the interest. Agency can promote both. There is no problem with that. And if agent has connections with both of the universities, if the candidate comes, because please remember that the goal of educational consulting, so the recruitment agency's work, is to provide the best options available for student that comes into the office of the agent towards the need of the student. So in terms of the country's programs and so on. And then, of course, if an agent has some additional factor like commission from one university, the other one is not giving any commission, for example, because of different reasons, then there is a high likelihood that the candidate will get promotion and information about both universities, but the agent could encourage the candidate to apply to the university which gives commission. And this is something standard, and that's why I said there is a huge competition, like in general, all over the world, in different countries, because there are so many institutions. In Poland alone, there's 472 higher education institutions. And all of them, maybe not all of them, can recruit international students because of some Polish government, but half of them at least is in a need of students, and most of them have similar profiles. So this is a pretty standard situation. I hope I answered your question. If no, please let me know in the chat. And now, Ms. Evgenia, thank you so much for insights in the webinar. How does the recruitment process differ for online programs? So online programs are really also a great way. This will be first question. Afterwards, I will answer the other ones. For online programs. So online programs are, I would say, an additional offer for each of the agency, and each of the agency, doesn't matter their country of origin, they can recruit students for the online programs. In terms of course, most students that want to study abroad and have appropriate budget, they will want to study physically. They will want to come to the campus, live on the campus, and meet the local culture and so on. However, there are students who either they cannot get a visa, for example, they need to start first year online. This is practice that is going on in some countries, that when there's a visa refusal, student can study first year online, for example. And if the programs are fully online, for example, Hult Business School, this is a really large business school, and they mostly have international programs online. They are doing really great in that, and they are charging also and making good profit out of that. But there is a huge interest also for an online programs. In terms of working with the agency on online programs, I think every agent can include it in his offer, because sometimes there are students who don't have any other opportunities, or are looking exactly for that opportunity to study online. Agents then will do the same process of promoting you and spreading information about you in order to provide you with the students. And then agents help student with the documentation, as there is no need for a visa there. Yes, of course. They then the main point of them in the online program would be to, of course, get the student admission to an online program. But it's the same process usually as for physical programs. Usually, a high school diploma is needed, either a local or international one. English diploma on B2 level, for example, is a standard usually. So agent helps with organizing all of that. So all the documents are correct. Students starts his online classes, pays the tuition fee, and afterwards, depending on the contract, agent can receive commission or charges the students for this service. So this is also a great way to promote the online programs. And we cooperate with partners who only work on the online programs actually. So if you will have any specific questions about that, you can feel free to let me know. I can try to get more information. Also, do you have any data on how effective this method is for online studies? Thank you again. I do not have any data to be open with you because not every partner is sharing with us exactly the numbers of students admitted. So this is the first reason that not everybody can or want to share the data with us. Of course, for us, it would be the best because then we can monitor for situation in each of one case of our partners, what is going on year by year. And this is a really great thing to do. And we encourage to do that, to grow with us and to make a strategy together with us and to monitor everything. In terms of online, this really depends on the interest, on the programs, and on the tuition fees. And then, of course, how many partners do you have? In general, this agency model and the way of working is almost always effectively. The only factor here is the statistic. If you are working on your own in your team, like I did in the medical university in Poland, I had 3 people in the admission office with me. So we are 4 people together taking care of documents, admission, promotion, everything, basically doing everything. And we don't have any additional support. We on our own did great. And you are also, each one of you is also doing really great. But it's nothing when you compare it when you are working with 20, 30, 50 partners even. And this is the scaling later. In terms of online program, you can have a lot of agencies working under you, and later on you can work with them like that and monitor the results, replace those who aren't working right now with the new ones, and develop later. So this is something that I encourage to do. I hope I managed to answer. And right now, Shaim, hello, thank you for a nice presentation. I'm an individual education consultant in Bangladesh. Greece is a new destination for my country students, and they are not that aware of it. I would like to work with your company to develop market of Greek education in Bangladesh. How do agents cooperate with us? Okay, this is a great question, and thank you, Shamil. I will read also the last part. English. Interested. Language tests. What are the alternatives? Costly language test results. Yeah, okay. So let me start about the company and then the language for you. So how can agents cooperate with us? If you can share your contact, email contact or WhatsApp contact on the chat from our dear agents team, somebody will reach out to you and show you in detail exactly how you can cooperate with us. There are different ways that you can work with us, and I think it would be the best to just leave me contact. I will then give it later to the agents team. In terms of the English certificate, this is the case for many countries, not only Bangladesh, that students don't want to pay, for example, for the IELTS or TOEFL or other official certificates. However, they are standard that this process is required in many universities. Some universities have their own jurisdiction over the process of the documents, and they can then set up a rule that if a student has, for example, extended level English on their diploma and has like A or or A plus, for example, they don't need a certificate from the student. So this depends also per university, but usually in terms of the alternatives, it all depends on your connections in the city for these companies. I highly encourage to do more research. Maybe there are cheaper options, but I also highly encourage to stick with the official and certified documents in terms of the English fluency level. This is very important for the admission, and it's always easier when you give a whole application, all documents are correct, and also the English certificate is that this is much welcome on the side of the universities. Thank you also, Kenya, for your question. Thank you, Sharim. I will let know my colleagues and they will reach out to you. I'm saving the number right now. Does anybody have any other questions about this way of working with agents or other things that we do as a company or about the event in Athens? Maybe there are some questions here. Please feel free. I'm all yours.
If we do not have any other question, I would like to thank you very much for this insightful and eye-opening presentation. Thank you for sharing your valuable experience and expertise. I would like to add that Greek universities, to make a brief introduction, now start step by step creating an international campus. They create international programs, so there is a huge need to work with recruitment agents because, as you know, it's really difficult and challenging to attract students, especially from specific markets. But to be honest, sometimes Greek universities and studying Greece hesitate. We do hesitate because we're not used to it. And some connections and collaborations can be considered as non-trustworthy. That's why I'm mentioning it, because I think that NET24 can contribute to building a strong and credible network in order to help Greek universities to connect and collaborate with recruitment agents from specific countries like India, Indonesia, Indian subcontinent in general, that are center countries. And without the contribution of you and your network of recruitment agents, it's really difficult to attract students from these countries, because recruitment is not also about numbers. It also has to do with quality applications. So I think that you can guarantee high quality recruitment networks, and that's invaluable. That's really helpful for us. And I would like also to add something further. Do you have some telling examples of collaborations, your collaboration partnership with universities from countries with the same size and objectives as Greece, like Czechia, for example, or Hungary, or even Poland? How did they manage to recruit students from these markets, and how do they work with recruitment agents?
Thank you, Theo, for all the things that you said and also for your question. This is a very important question, and actually, I can share you the most experience because I think the Greece and Poland situation right now is very similar. We are maybe a little bit ahead in terms of numbers, but what is happening from the government side and the universities starting to be more aware that they need to take action and use some extra resources like your intelligence series with information, working with Studying Greece or with companies like NET24. This is how in Poland they build up the recruitment. What do they do? exactly, most of them travel a lot. They travel with study in Poland, for example, with other institutions in Poland, like we do. There's also a government organization named NAVA. They are also organizing different fairs, and the main results from what I can share from my experience and the clients from Poland, as this is a large data, the large number, I would say they find their best results via going to the different places directly, talking with consuls from the embassies that are responsible, talking with recruitment agencies from different countries, but not once or twice, but they are doing this whole time each year. The bigger the university, the larger the budget. It can be like 6 or 8 conferences abroad a year, and outside of that there is a huge amount of work that is needed to be done outside of the conference, in which I am sure that non-company helps the better that we do, because our after service is from the scratch till the end, everything, agreements, doing evaluation of the meetings with your partners, with different companies that you had meetings are scheduled, we advise you what regions are good, we share information about the visa changes, if there is some insight from other university from the country, also share that, what are other partners doing. So what we're also Poles doing in Poles universities, so they outside of traveling, they also are heavily engaged in different ways of marketing, and they also send many professors to different countries to do lectures there, for example, to go to high schools, to go to universities and work on the Erasmus, for example, or ISEC programs. This is something that they started doing more and more because they are able right now, because they have a large enough number of students that it can be both way relationship. So outside of working with recruitment agencies, promotion, online marketing is very important. Presence in the countries is very important. Then right partners from the universities is very important also, because then it's easier to recruit, because you're already working with Polish university or with Greek university. So it's natural for exchange, for example, here. The last thing that I would like to add, outside of marketing, conferences, promotion, usual universities are also using some type of a database or some type of service that they are visible to students from all over the world. There are different companies that provide solutions like databases of students, or students are actively using the platform and you can have your account there. This is also something that is usually being done. With our platform, this is even greater, because what we do and all of our solutions, they are only towards marketing, promotion, and student recruitment. And when there is marketing and promotion, this is also for student recruitment. So same with the platform. Not only you can reach out to many different agencies at once, have them online, no additional cost for the university of traveling. However, the results may vary because it's face-to-face is the best here to work. But you also will be able to have students there individually applying. So you will have a possibility to have students, to have agencies, and this is platform that is towards recruitment, not towards your promotion in the internet, but towards the goal of having the student with correct documents coming in to the university. So in terms of other countries, the approach is really similar. They are traveling, they are doing this marketing things, and they are improving. The websites are also very important. The websites in English language. If you have a lot of students from one country, maybe you can think of adding that language to the website. The students are looking towards that. So also how is the university looking when individual students approach you? They check your website. If it's very well done, this is also something that is helping out when somebody finds you to apply in the end. So I will say all the things that already you're probably doing will work, but it takes at least 1 to 2 years of doing this actively, going to many conferences and getting to know many, sometimes hundreds of partners over some period of time to achieve great results. And this is what I'm inviting you today, to try us out and to show us how we can provide you with these solutions and how we can provide you those great results with you. However, this takes usually at least 1 to 2 years, depending on how much programs you want to open, how many students you want to have from which countries. And we are all about that as a company. So I advise to work with us, of course, work with Study in Greece, which is doing great promotion, great intelligence, and I dearly respect what they do. And I think they are providing also a great value to all of their partners.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that you're flattering us, but it's objective and you're really unbiased. And your advice and services are really helpful and useful. You're a great expert. I also have one more question. I don't know if our audience wants to add something here, or do we have any other question? I cannot see. How do we start targeting specific countries? Is it through research? How do we start crafting a recruitment strategy? For example, we're a Greek university and we want to attract students. Where do we start from? In my opinion, we should start from research and then craft and develop our internationalization and recruitment strategy based on this research, depending on the characteristics of the university, the subject area, and market trends aligned with this subject area. What's your perspective?
Okay, this is a very great question, and I want to thank you so much for this. The answer will be kind of like what a psychology student would say, that it varies, it depends on the situation. So how would I approach this if I were crafting a student strategy of recruitment for 2025-2026? What would I do? First thing that I would check is the visa chances and the past trends. If you are opening programs from the scratch, like it's a new program, nobody will craft you a perfect strategy. You just need to do it, try it out, check the numbers, check the, like you said. From which countries are most students applying to Greece? Then if it's possible, you can also ask other universities, ask other partners for what programs are students applying. Then if you can open a similar program or you have your own program, which is not included in this statistics, then this is a gamble. You can then use you can use the statistics from the visa trend and target those countries in your plan. That, for example, let's say right now it's a lot easier to get a visa from some Asian countries compared to African countries to Greece, correct? Okay, so this could be a first step. From which countries I would like to have students from, and from which countries students can actually come and get the visa. That's the first question. Second question would be, what about other regions? Of course, there are other regions that we need to think about. So Europe, okay, no visa is required. It's also strong, but it's difficult to recruit students from Europe. And then after I have the regions set up, I can take a look at what I can do as fast as possible, because each day time is running out. I have intake in October. Rector is telling that I need to have this amount of students and I need to do something. So what can I do on my own? Okay, I can do promotion, I can prepare website, I can prepare presentations, marketing, I can take part in some local webinars, get some intelligence, okay, and I can prepare. But who can I ask or use to my benefit in terms of the recruitment? So, for example, company like ours, let's check, you do your research, your strategy, and it shows that there is a huge amount of need from Thailand, for example, or from Dubai, for example, or you project that USA, Canada, Australia are closing visas for MENA countries, for Arabic countries. This is what I project in 2025, 2026, and there will be more applications from those countries in Europe. So I look at everything pretty much, and I also ask. It's never wrong to ask, and the more partners you have, universities, agencies, you know the situation in each country. You can get to that level that you know what's going on in each country, but you really need to put in the work. I would say the hardest is to start. The first year, the second year would be the hardest. After you start opening like your first programs or you close the limit on those programs, it's a lot easier because you already have a safe group, you already have some partners. What would I do also to answer of focusing some countries? Usually focusing would be wrong approach. I would, instead of focusing, target whole region. If we are talking about Asia, like our event in Thailand that we have, I would target all of the agents and all of the countries nearby that will be there on the spot to have diversity. Same with Africa, same with every region. I wouldn't focus too much on one country. Only in the case, like in Poland, there were from United Arab Emirates, there was a King's Scholarship for medicine, for example. And this was a great target. We had hundreds of students because they had some initiative to come to Poland to study to get the budget. If there's a situation like that, this is just an opportunity that you can take care of. But those are rarer and rarer. So we need to really have diversification. And then once you start making this process happening and you see which kind of countries are bringing you results, you have your own statistic, and then you can work on that further. You see a lot of people from Africa are applying, from Thailand are applying. Increase your presence there and include diversity in other regions. So then you can have statistics and take action on that. And I think after you have it, then it's just a pleasure of working because you're just adding different countries, you're having students. Of course, it's this amount of work, it's a lot, but it's a pleasure when you achieve your success. And this is for the head of the admission office a great honor and a great pleasure later when there's a huge success. Everybody in the university will be really happy. So this is my answer to that question. There are some questions to you, Theo, I see on the chat.
Yes, Charmaine. First of all, I would like to thank you very much. It was really comprehensive, your response. And I like the fact that you start from the practical visa issue because it's really important and significant because there are opportunities in some markets, but there are severe visa issues, so we cannot move forward. And as far as I understood, you're against focusing in advance. We should be open, have a more diversified approach, and then according to the trends in each country, we should focus accordingly, right?
Exactly. This would be my approach if I were starting from the beginning, if I didn't have any students yet, and I will be opening my first program. I would start with that. Just so first year is a gamble. Sometimes it's a great result. Sometimes we need to do something, check out, and this can be the case for every university opening their first English program or program out in any other language. Your national one. It's a challenge and it's a gamble. But after you do this gamble, you see all the things that you need to do. The first year is just most difficult in terms of the targeting. I had in mind that we shouldn't focus too much. If there is some country that is already bringing us results, we should just add to that pile. Maybe one event, maybe some marketing you can do. Maybe you can have more agencies from that countries to increase your presence there because it's already going great. So why should we stop? And if something goes wrong with a visa, then you have partners in other countries and you can, okay, maybe there'll be a slight drop, like, I don't know, 10, 20 less applications, but in the end, you will still have a better year than somebody who doesn't have any partners or who is focusing only one or two or three countries. Then you have this safety net that you can always use. But this requires some amount of effort to achieve. And I would love to help anybody who wants with that process, because I understand that at the beginning, like you said, sometimes people are scared. This is something new and it's all right to be scared or to be unsure. It's a good habit when you're unsure about something and you don't understand something. So that's why we as a company really guide you through this process. And somebody also had to guide us through this process to show us. Most of us in NET24, we are related with higher education sector, and we experience admission from the scratch on our own skin. So that's why I can talk so confident and with precision, because I really know what I'm talking about because I did it. So this is the best experience you can get is in the admission office, and on different conferences you can get connections, and that's all you need to make success in any kind of field. You need connections, you need knowledge, know-how, and you need to work hard, and you can make really great results anywhere.
Thank you very much. Your commitment and engagement is reflected in your speech. So you're a great expert, and we really love working with you. I can see Sharmin's comments on our discussion. According to my experience, the ease of application and admission process and the quicker admission decision impacts. The opportunity to apply around the year will increase the number of applications. Yeah, that's practical, and that counts. Second, if the universities implement cost-free English language testing system, they will have thousands of quality applicants to choose from. That's another component. Yeah. Do you want to Michal to further elaborate on this?
Just a few
have some
comments.
examples?
The things that Mr. Sharim is stating are also crucial, because he is an agent. He knows the situation from the student. So right now you have also another expert who is from the other side of the coin than universities.
From Bangladesh, if I'm not mistaken.
From Bangladesh, which is also a great country. I respect Bangladesh. I love the students from there. And in terms of your comments, definitely, if you have two intakes, for example, one for September, second one for February. So you have summer intake and winter intake. This is really great for most of the recruitment agencies and partners. Sometimes students get visa refusal, they need to wait. If their original university doesn't allow them to wait, you have a client for you, because you have another admission. They don't have admission for February, for example. So admission is also important, or to have it open whole year. For online programs, it could be whole year, for example. Then in terms of this free language testing system, so some universities have a pathway program that is 1 year of English preparation, for example, or preparation in Greek, for example, or in Polish. If they want to study in Polish, they can have 1 year preparation course. Usually, however, this is not free. Sometimes they are also doing an entrance exams with each of the candidates, but this is problematic. You need to have usually it's for medicine that they do entrance exams, actually, and I had been doing those as well. And then you can test English level on the exam, and you do not require the document. So this is also another solution. And then it's no cost for both sides. However, in terms of also English, if university can set up their own rules on which documents and which certificates are accepted, and you see that there is a huge amount of applications, let's say from Bangladesh. Those students come to the campus, they get visa, and you see that their English level is all right. They can communicate, they understand the lectures. Then you can add this into your resolution. And when student applies with the diploma, he has extended level English on some level that you require, you can use it and accept it as an English certification. And you don't need then to ask them for IELTS or TOEFL diploma, for example. So these are some options that I can recommend. This really helps the agents and the students. Students from some countries, this is additional cost for them. Sometimes it's a huge cost for them to get this English certificate. And that's why I understand the question, what the visa issue, if there is an entrance exam, getting bona fide students would be higher, does visa ratio will be, yes. So this is the same, this is the result. If you have interest exam, like you test biology, for example, and chemistry for medical programs, or you test mathematics and geographic for business or management or logistics or engineering, then you really, in the embassy, they look differently, because in the conditional admission letter, you can add that the student was tested and passed positively interest exam conducted by the professors of the university. This is what I had, and this really helps the embassy as well. in terms of the interesting and language tests can be designed to be taken online. Yes, they can be designed to be taken online, but not every university is able to organize that. Not every university has an IT backing large enough to achieve that. Quite distinctly, you have to tailor your plan as the student wanted. Their psychology is to be considered, of course. So well-being of the student, welcome centers on the university, for example. When student comes, he has somebody on the spot that is his first contact when something is going on. And this in Poland is also something that is being much more popular in a few last years, that there is an even government grants for opening a welcome center for new students. And I also invite, if there are any programs that are enabling Greek universities to open this sort of welcome centers, this is something great. And then student is taken care of. No problem, Charmin. Don't be sorry for anything you are telling us. The feedback,
Thank you, of
which
course,
is
yeah.
very, very valuable
It's
to everybody here, and I
precious,
want to
yeah, of
thank you.
course.
No need to apologize for anything, and I agree with all of your points. Both the English, if the easier it is with the admission and with the documents, the higher the chances you'll have more students. The same goes with the visa. The more you know consuls in the embassy, the more you know their process. If you need to send them physically every paper, or they can take online, or there's something else required, the larger numbers of candidates will get a positive visa approval. And this is a fact. So I also invite you, when you travel, to visit your Greek embassies in different countries, to talk with those people, as this will help you, really help you.
Of course. Fortunately, we have a great cooperation with our diplomatic authorities abroad, but some of them are understaffed, some missions, especially our mission in India, which is crucial because our consulate in New Delhi is responsible for India and Bangladesh as well. And the staff is not, they
That's too much.
we have 3-4 administrative staff, so it's not that easy to respond to the needs of this market. But I think that things will move forward according to the growing needs. But yes, we are in contact and we collaborate very closely with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs on this. Excellent. Anna, do you want to add something here? Because it's the first meeting that I see you silent.
Yeah, because to be honest, I made my notes which topics I would like to, for each topics I would like to add something. But to be honest, Michał covered a lot of things, and we were talking for more than an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, we will be sending these presentations, and on the last slide, we will have references with the important links where everybody can find more statistics related to the educational industry, international students, and etc. Plus, we have contacts of Michał and my contacts in the presentation, so definitely we can schedule additional meeting, talk with the details regarding any topics we discussed today. Plus, we will be in Athens pretty soon, next week actually. So it's a good, it's a good moment for us to meet in person, to talk about all these processes, what is going on. And I also wanted to add that, to be honest, studying Greece does a lot, and you support your universities on a really high level. I could see it on other huge events like EAIE or NAFSA. So participating in such events really helps in general to build this community between education institutions and other types of companies and other institutions in different countries. So definitely it brings results, and this is one of the reasons why we have this webinar today.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Actually, what happens in Greece is a small revolution, I would say, regarding internationalization, because it was not a tradition. Greek universities used to be research intensive and state funded. But for example, 5 years ago, they were not allowed to to create English taught programs with tuition fees. So what's happening now? It's really impressive. And it's a concerted effort, I would say. The Ministry of Education, Study in Greece, and all 24 Greek public universities share the same vision to establish Greece gradually as a study abroad destination for international students. Of course, with your help, with the help of professionals and experts in recruitment and internationalization in general. So your advice, your consultation, and your help are really valuable. Thank you very much. And we're looking forward to seeing you and meeting you again in person in Athens in 1 week.
Really great. Thank you, Theo, so much. Like Anna said, and I am saying, hold this webinar, you're doing great job, and I believe that without any bias. Last thing I want to share before we end, Mr. Sharim shared that because of the relations between India and Bangladesh, it's almost impossible for Bangladeshi students to go and get a visa in Delhi. So I understand also this is why you need to know people in the countries, and you need to travel a lot and you need to network because right now we see that there are some problems per country, and you thank you one more time, Sharmi, for sharing that and for being here from the agency side. I think that's really great that we had this experience today. I want to thank everybody for attending, for the questions that you had. I hope you managed to get some information for you that are useful for in your case, and you can use them. Always the contact to me will be available if you have any more questions or you need some help with anything, let me
Sorry,
know.
one more point from my part to Charmaine. Charmaine, will you be in Athens next week or not? Because we would like to talk about recruitment from Bangladesh, because according to the international research, it's a particularly interesting market. They becoming a fast-growing center country, so we should definitely work with them. Charmaine, we can continue our communication in any case. I have your details. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Great.
then I think we can slowly end. And I want to also thank Anna one more time and Study in Greece one more time. Thank you guys for organizing, for making this happen, and for allowing us to connect, to talk about very important things. From our side, we also knew that the Ministry of Education, both in Greece and in Cyprus, their goal is to make destination more approachable and I would say interesting for international students. I already tried to write a letter to the ministry in Cyprus because I love Cyprus, I love Greece. You inspire me a lot, and I love the culture and everything. So I already tried to approach as a company to help, and I think the best way is to cooperate with you to spread the good news. And I wanted to end with this positive information and thank once again all the participants for the questions and for their attendance. Thank you.
Likewise, thank you very much, and looking forward to connecting in Athens.